Right. Let's now look at the reference variable as parameters. Okay. Remember what is reference variable earlier? Reference variable is an alias to a variable, so another variable name. Okay, but in order to have another variable name, it has to share the same address. Okay, so using reference variable as parameters allow us to allow a function to work with the original copy of original arguments from the function call, not a copy of the argument. When we are using pass by value or pass by copy, we are actually copying the value from the calling environment. If it is the calling environment is main function, then we are copying the variable from main functions to the local variable of the function. For example, this addition function is code addition. So we call addition. We are copying num1 and num2 into A and B. Okay, so we create a copy of num1 in addition as A and num2 as B. Okay, so when we change anything inside uh, A or B side here, so let nothing will be changed. Num1 and num2 in uh, main is still the same. You see now num1 slash t num2. Now let's change A here. A equal to A plus maybe uh, B plus 3, B equal to um, B minus 1. Let's run this. Fine. So what happened here is okay, we didn't output anything here, right? So let's see out before return. Okay, so next, sorry, screen, let me see. Right, so now a hello world from main. Okay, then you do the function call add equal to addition. So what happened, it will go to this function call and will receive num1 and num2. Your num1 is 15 and your num2 is 40. So now it will go inside here and it will do the changes here. A equal to B plus 3, which is 43, and B equal to B minus 1, which is 39. C out. So it will see out A and B. So this is happening in addition, and then the controls then C equal to A plus B is being executed and return C. This is being returned to C, to the main function. So the add value becomes 82, but then you see num1 and num2 is still uh, 15 and 40. They are untouched even though we have changed A and B here inside. So that's pass by copy. Okay, whatever you change A here and B here is not being changed at the main function or the calling environment. So it's also a way to return, so we more than one value. So in here we only return C. So what if we want to return the value of A and B as well? So that is where passing by reference come handy. Remember, a reference variable is an alias for another variable, okay, defined with an ampersand. So things changes when you put the ampersand value uh, here, okay, because what you're saying is uh, you are getting an address of uh, the variable declared in main or the calling environment, okay. So reference, so it'll, in your main it will just send you num1 and num2 as usual, but when you receive it in your function you receive it as address. So it will give you another name for the variable. So in top here you should also change it this way, okay. So now you will see that your num1 and num2 will change accordingly with A and B, because there is they are no longer using by copy. They are changing the argument or the value num1 and num2 directly, okay. Right. So in your program 6.25 in your textbook, you have a function double num with ampersand here, okay. You can try this out, okay. You can see how it's change the argument inside the main function, okay. So notes, each reference parameter must contain one ampersand. Space between time and ampersand is unimportant. Must use ampersand in both prototype and header, so make sure you have it in header and also in the prototype function. Argument can pass to reference parameter must be a variable, cannot be an expression or a constant, okay. Use when appropriate, don't use when argument should not be changed by function, okay, or if function needs to return only one value. So that's very important. Do not simply use it. Use it when it's necessary. Overloading functions is simple. It's just that functions have same name but different parameters list. Okay, for example, you have function get dimension. You have four function get dimensions, same name, but they take in different parameters. The first function with only one parameter of type integer, and the second one two parameters of type integer, and the third one two parameters, one integer, one double, and the fourth one two parameters, both double. So in your program is if you have something like this, the compiler will detect which functions to use based on your variable data type. So let's say you have get dimension length. So length is a integer variable, and you only have one parameter here, will go for number 1. And then if you have length and width, both are integer, will go for number 2. If you have length and height, integer and double, will go for number 3. And height base, double and double, will go for number 4. So go for the definition inside the respective functions. Okay, so as program 6.27 shows is you have two square functions, one accept integer, the other one accept double. So when you call one function, you will of this function, you will look at your variables that you use, the data type of the variable that you use. So in this case, square user int, you will use the square int, and if you use user float, you will use the square float. Okay. The exit function is used to terminate the execution of program, can be called from any function, uh, and you need the CSTDLIB standard C standard library header file to use this function. And it's rarely that we use this function, but there are two types of uh, exit status, exit success or exit failure. Alright, so this is just for knowledge. And before we end, I would like to remind you that functions can be called from main functions, can also be called by other functions. So you can have main calling function 1 and then function 1 calling function 2, but the concept works similarly. Okay, so thank you. That's the end of the function. I will come back. We'll be back with our last topic, array.